Loving God, I come before you in this quiet hour of the evening as the light of day fades and darkness envelopes my room. I feel your gentle presence, like a comforting whisper to my restless heart after a long, challenging day. I offer to you all that I have experienced today, the worries, the exhaustion, and even the small joys you have blessed me with. I think of Alara, a woman whose heart was once as restless as mine. Her name felt like a soft whisper against the harsh noise of her modern life. Each morning, the city's cold breath fogged her window, a grim prelude to a relentless barrage of demands, the tyranny of the urgent, and superficial interactions that drained her spirit, leaving her profoundly adrift. This was the stress of modern life, a convenient label for an inconvenient truth. For Alara, it manifested as a tightening vice around her chest, a constant thrum of anxiety that made authentic inner peace an unattainable luxury. Her composure, a carefully constructed facade, masked the inner turmoil that never ceased. Oh God, I see myself in Alara. Today, I too face the pressures of life, demanding work, complicated relationships, and ceaseless worries. There were moments when I felt my heart constricted by anxiety, and peace seemed like a luxury I couldn't reach. I longed for a sanctuary, a place where I could find true rest for my soul. For Alara, nights offered no sanctuary, they often amplified her disquiet. She yearned for simple, dreamless sleep, the kind that mends frayed edges. But instead, her mind ignited, a frantic carousel spinning through worries, replaying awkward conversations with painful clarity and cataloging perceived failures. Restlessness was her unwelcome, clinging bedfellow. Lord, I feel the same way. Tonight, as I lie down, my mind continues to race with thoughts of what I did, what I didn't accomplish, and what I fear for tomorrow. I long for the peace that only you can give. I surrender to you my restlessness, my anxiety, and the unanswered questions echoing in my heart. I ask you to hold me in your loving arms, so I may find true rest in your presence. I think of Alara, who felt lost in the chaos of her life. Beneath her polished surface of capable efficiency, the Alara she barely remembered still flickered faintly, like a distant star. A woman whose spirit once soared with creative abandon, who found solace in the vibrant language of art, now found that precious spark dimmed, nearly extinguished by the relentless weight of daily exhaustion. Her quiet resilience, once her bedrock, felt dangerously thin, stretched to its breaking point. Her very being ached with an unspoken longing for something more, something real beyond the ceaseless demands of her current life, a deep, quiet yearning for tranquility. God, I too long for something more in my life. I yearn for the peace, healing, and guidance that only you can provide. I ask you to touch my heart, to calm my restlessness, and to remind me that you are always with me, even in my most difficult moments. I ask you to help me open my heart to your presence, so I may find refuge in your love. I thank you for being with me throughout this day, even when I didn't notice. Ask you to grant me peaceful sleep tonight, so I may rest in your embrace. I pray in your name, loving God. Amen. God of peace, I continue this evening prayer as darkness surrounds me and the world outside grows quiet. I want to offer you my gratitude, even when my heart still carries traces of anxiety. I ask you to teach me to find the small blessings in this day, so I may enter your stillness with a heart full of thanksgiving. I think of Alara's journey as she sought peace in her restless nights. The city she lived in was a relentless symphony of noise, a concrete labyrinth echoing with ambition and anxiety. Her apartment, high above the ceaseless traffic, offered panoramic views, but no escape from its encroaching weight. Days at Innovate Solutions, her aptly named workplace, were a dizzying blur of presentations, demanding clients, and superficial office camaraderie that felt more draining than supportive. Every interaction seemed transactional. The sheer volume of it all created a formidable barrier to true stillness, a stark contrast to the desperate yearning for peace growing within Alara's soul. Lord, I felt the same today. My life was filled with noise, the noise of work, relationships, and unending concerns. There were moments when stillness felt like a luxury I couldn't touch. But I want to learn to find peace in you, even amidst the chaos of life. Olara discovered an invitation to stillness through her grandmother's old journal. On a rainy afternoon, while rummaging through a dusty box of inherited belongings, she found a small, unassuming leather-bound journal. Its pages were brittle, filled with her grandmother's elegant, spidery script. Her grandmother, remembered more for gentle hands and radiant tranquility than overt religiosity, had poured her heart into these pages. As Alara read, snippets of her grandmother's world unfolded, tender reflections, simple gratitude for daily wonders, and quiet conversations with you. It wasn't rigid ritual, it was profound connection and invitation. God, I ask you to help me find that same invitation tonight. I want to learn to connect with you deeply, to find peace in your presence. I think of the first key Alara discovered, gratitude. That first night, as she sat on her bed with the city's glow painting restless patterns on her wall, gratitude felt impossibly large. Her mind, an archivist of anxieties, drew a blank on blessings. It felt forced. Right, she mumbled. A bed. Warm. Food today. Hollow words. But she committed to trying for 7 nights. Some evenings, her gratitude list was painfully short. Other times, driven by stubborn desperation, she wrestled to find one more thing. Office coffee, her old laptop not crashing, and unexpected silence on her commute. Lord, I too want to begin with gratitude tonight. I ask you to help me see the small blessings in my day, even when my mind is clouded with worry. I am grateful for the shelter you provided, the food I ate, and the loved ones in my life. I am thankful for the moments I often overlook, a smile from a colleague, a beautiful sunset, or the stillness of this moment. I ask you to open my eyes to see more, to find the tiny gems hidden in the rubble of my day. Slowly, Alara realized gratitude was changing her. One evening, as she listed the beautiful sunset glimpsed between skyscrapers, she recalled Psalm 104. Enter his gates with thanksgiving. Thanksgiving as a doorway and opening. She began to notice more. The barista's genuine kindness, unexpected laughter with a colleague, a resilient wildflower pushing through pavement. Her nightly ritual became a quiet excavation, digging for overlooked treasures in her day's debris. God, I ask you to help me find those treasures in my day as well. I ask you to shift my perspective so I can see your love and care in the smallest things. I thank you for always being with me, even when I didn't notice. I ask you to give me a grateful heart so I can enter your stillness with joy and thanksgiving. I pray in your name, loving God. Amen. God of healing, I continue this evening prayer as I reflect on the challenges I face today. I offer to you my pain, my wounds, and the anxieties I carry in my heart. I ask you to touch me with your healing love so I may stand firm in your presence, even when darkness looms. I think of Alara, who faced a storm in her life. The fragile peace she had found through gratitude was severely tested. A project at work she had poured her heart into received scathing criticism from Mr. Henderson, a senior director. His words felt deeply personal, echoing old narratives of inadequacy that had haunted her since childhood. The dam against her anxiety shattered. That evening, a cold panic seized her, a suffocating wave, leaving her gasping, her heart pounding. Her gratitude journal lay untouched. Old despair settled back, heavy and oppressive. Lord, I too face challenges today. There were moments when I felt attacked by words, circumstances, or fears within me. At times, I felt my peace was stolen, and I spiraled into anxiety and doubt. I surrender to you those pains, the wounds I carry, and I ask you to heal me. Alara found strength in her grandmother's words. The accuser whispers lies, but my testimony is in the light that never fails. Wounds may linger, but healing flows from the source of all mending. Inspired by Revelation 12 verse 11 and Isaiah 53 verse 5, she began to pray differently. When inadequacy rose, she whispered, "No, I choose to believe I am capable. I've overcome before." She recalled small successes, her gratitude entries becoming her testimony. For the deep hurt Henderson's words exposed, she prayed for healing, pleading for gentle mending, envisioning a soothing balm, as the verse promised, "By his wounds, we are healed." God, I too want to stand firm against the accusations in my heart. I ask you to help me resist the lies of the accuser, those voices that tell me I'm not good enough, that I'll fail, that I'm unworthy of your love. I choose to believe your truth, that I am made in your image, that I am loved and precious in your eyes. I ask you to heal the wounds in my heart, the pain from today, and the old scars I've carried. I envision your love as a soothing balm, flowing into the broken places of my soul, bringing healing and peace. Alara's change wasn't an instant miracle. Henderson didn't apologize, and the project's outcome remained mixed. But she realized the victory wasn't in changing circumstances, but in her own transformation. Panic attacks lost their suffocating intensity. She could breathe through them, observing them with detached curiosity rather than being consumed. One morning, she woke with a strange lightness. The pressure in her chest diminished. When she faced Henderson again, she walked in with quiet resilience, no longer dismantled by his words. "Lord, I ask you to grant me that same resilience. I ask you to help me stand firm in the face of challenges, so I can face them with calmness and confidence in your love. I thank you for fighting for me and for reminding me that I need only be still and trust in you. I pray in your name, loving God. Amen." God of guidance, I conclude this evening prayer with a heart full of hope, seeking your refuge and guidance. I surrender to you the decisions, the crossroads, and the uncertainties I face. I ask you to shelter me under your wings and lead me with your light, so I may walk in your path. I think of Alara, who stood at new crossroads in her life. After her battle with Henderson and her inner demons, she began to question whether Innovate Solutions was truly where she belonged long-term. The security it offered now felt like a gilded cage, its comforts cold and restrictive. Her old artistic passions, reawakened by her grandmother's journal, whispered more insistently, but the path of an artist was fraught with financial uncertainty. Confusion clouded her mind, and a deep vulnerability left her feeling exposed. Lord, I too face crossroads in my life. There are decisions I must make, paths I'm unsure of. I feel vulnerable, and I need your guidance more than ever. I ask you to shelter me under your wings, as Psalm 91 verse 4 promises, so I may find refuge in your love. I envision myself enveloped in your peace, as if sheltered by gentle, immense feathers. I ask you to calm my fears and grant me stillness in my soul. Alara found guidance through her prayers. She recalled her grandmother's assurance about asking for wisdom, as James 1 verse 5 promises that it would be given generously, without finding fault. She whispered, "I don't know what to do. I lack wisdom to see the right path. Please show me." She didn't expect a dramatic sign, but a gentle whisper from you. And subtly, answers began to form. An old acquaintance shared her story, an unexpected art opportunity arose, and doors closed to open new paths. God, I too ask for your wisdom tonight. I don't know what to do at the crossroads of my life, but I trust that you do. I ask you to show me the right path, even if it's just a gentle whisper in my heart. I ask you to open my eyes to see your signs, and to give me clarity to walk in your way. Alara realized her nights had become a sacred space, where she found peace, healing, and guidance. The 5 sacred keys she discovered, gratitude, victory over fear, healing, refuge, and wisdom, became living principles woven into her daily life. Lord, I thank you for making my nights a sacred space where I can find you. I ask you to continue guiding me, sheltering me, and granting me wisdom to face the days ahead. I thank you for your unchanging love and your constant presence with me. I pray in your name, loving God. Amen.